Welcome back. Let's learn basics about Excel. Excel is a great way to help someone get started with data management, analysis, and visualization. I can give you few outlines of basic Excel training sessions. Let's start with introducing the Excel interface. So everything that you're looking here in this file, this is an interface. This is the Excel workbook, and the ones that you're looking at in the bottom here, which is named as sheet 1, that is called sheet. You want to create a new sheet, you just click on plus and it automatically creates a new sheet for you. And this is the workbook, which can have any number of sheets the way you want them to be created. Now each and every cell that we have highlighted here, like say for example I'm highlighting cell A1. A is the column and 1 is the row. Say for example I want to highlight this particular cell. What is this cell? Look at this column, it's I and 7. You can see that on the top left corner here. So every cell has a unique name, and you can have one sheet with over 1 million rows. These are the rows. When you say 1 2 3 4, these are the rows. You click on first row, click on control and page down. It will take you to the last row, which is 1 million, I would say 48,576 rows. So that's how big the Excel is. Just for some quick knowledge. Now columns are named as A, B, C, D for a reason which you'll learn later. Let's go to the end of it. Same, click on control button in your keyboard and right arrow or end. It will go to the last cell, which is XFD. So that is pretty big. So now that we have learned the basics about Excel, now what is this the names here: file, home, insert, draw, page layout. So this is called the toolbar at the top, with the different names, and everything has different functionalities. Let's start with each and every functionality one after another, so it's easier for you to understand what's the purpose of each and every ribbon in the toolbar here. Now there is something called formula bar, which is this one, where you can edit the contents of the cell. Say for example I'm just taking a random cell here and just typing hello and hit enter. So this cell, which is row C, column C, row 3, which is C3, has some value here. Once you click on the other cell, you don't see that in the formula bar. Once you click on hello, the formula bar opens up. Let's say you want to write a big letter. You can just use it as Word document. How are you doing? So pretty much you can do that, but that's not the purpose of Excel. So these are some basics that we have seen today. Now let's learn some useful functionality today. That is something called formulas. So I'll try to explain you what is an auto sum. This is a pretty interesting way to learn Excel, fun way I would say. So say for example you want to create some kind of identification for how much are you spending. Say for example you're a student and you are given $1,000, allotted $1,000 to spend in a given month. So how would you spend it? How do you plan your spending on? Is a simple way to get started. So for that you need to start with saying the first, let's start by using these rows as the type of expenditure that you are incurring. Say for example, I can rename the sheet 1 saying, okay, X. Okay, now let's start with naming what kind of expenses do you have. Let's say I have friends, I need to spend money, eat, go out, eat something, these kind of expenses, right? So dining, let's say you're spending, before we start dining, let me say, let's use the formula, let's use this to name the expenditure. Type of expenditure. So here you can say dining, hanging out with friends. Probably I would say I could use $250 in a given month for that. And what is this? It's just a number right now. How do you make it a currency? So go back to the home tab here and click on the dollar sign, which is now it became $250. It's a currency. It can be anything. It can be currencies like, I think this is rupee, English Indian rupee. You can change the currencies, it's up to you, but for now let's stick with dollar. Okay, and what kind of other expenses? So gas for my car, so I'm probably spending around $300. You just type in 300 there. Oh, now I don't see the dollar sign. I have to click again. Should I have to keep clicking this again? No, you can just select few rows and say these are just dollars. Okay, whatever I'll enter once I clicked it, so whatever I enter here, it will just convert it as dollars. So that's the property of the cell. Now it became dollars. Now I have dining expenses with friends, hanging out with friends, gas expenses as 300. What other expense can I incur? Probably college college cafeteria. Probably I'll be spending $400 there, for example. Now I want to see what's the total. So Excel gives you an easy way to do that. Just select all the rows together and you can see the sum here on top bottom right. Sum $950. So I already know this is allocated. Now what else? What is remaining for me? So what I would do is probably I would use total here. If I remember something later, I can add it or I can insert it. That's not a problem. What I would say is miscellaneous expenditure is $50. That's what I'm left with right now. Okay, so how do I get total? You just select the rows and say go to formula, click this here in the top, click the auto sum, and you get the computed value as total $1,000. So this is just an example showing how a sum formula can be used. Say for example, all these expenses are month 1. Let's say I have different expense on month 2. So for dining, I've only spent $200, and for gas, I've spent $400, and for college cafeteria, I only spent $350 here. So what am I left with? And if you have noticed, there's no dollar sign. So I just select all the rows here, go back to home, click on dollar. There you go. So what is the sum? $950. So miscellaneous, I have $50 for miscellaneous expenses. So what's the total here? $1,000. Now, should I have to keep doing it again and again and again? No. So we used a sum algorithm here, which is sum equals to sum of B2. B2 is this cell to B6, which means anything that's coming from here to here is totaled up as 1000. That's the formula, and this is the value. So I want to calculate for month 2. I'm lazy. I don't want to do it again. I just drag, and I drag for, I don't know, couple of columns here, and it obviously, when there is a value, it obviously sums it up. So say for example I need to expand all these. I just select everything and expand together. Now month 1, I don't want to write month 3, I'll just drag it and Excel will automatically determine and say okay, you are trying to do month 3 4 and it goes on till month 10. Now same expenditure, you can do an average expenditure of the same. Say for example your average expenditure of dining, gas and college cafeteria is kind of the same. So you select them, you drag them all the way through. Wow, look at that, we have the values already populated below, the sum's already computed, which means you are left with $50, right? You drag the $50 and it says okay, your $1,000 allowance, this is what you'll be spending on. So this is a simple way to illustrate how Excel can make things easy for you. Thank you for watching the video. Please like and subscribe.